Vandals wreak havoc at a Northeast ISD school. They did their damage in the dark of night at Madison High School.
However, as Eyewitness News reporter Jeremy Baker shows us, cameras were rolling. Jeremy?
That's right. Northeast ISD leaders say those cameras were rolling around 2 o'clock this morning. They captured images of 3 men entering the agri-science property with spray paint cans, and as you'll see, they went to work.
Graffiti, inappropriate language, drawings, etc., and a lot of the security cameras were destroyed.
This is what students saw when they arrived at Madison High School's agri-science magnet program this morning. A van covered in graffiti, spray paint with derogatory words and images on exterior walls, and more of the same on the concrete. Much of the images too graphic to show.
It's such a shame. Those students work so hard out there, and to have their property, their classrooms, their everything defaced is just, it's a real shame.
The cleanup is already underway, but the cost still unknown.
Waiting to see exactly how much, but I mean, it's safe to say in the thousands.
That cost including several security cameras.
It looked as though they attempted to damage the cameras with a golf club, so they did seem to have some familiarity with the area.
That the vandals were caught on. You can see them all right here, but through it all, one bright moment shined through.
Once word started spreading, the students, the parents in that program, they all called, asked if there was anything that they could do, how they could help. Through the bad, you oftentimes see the good.
There is some good news to report. The Northeast ISD says it believes 2 of the young men in the security footage have been identified. They'll face charges of graffiti, which is a felony, and also criminal mischief once arrested. If you have any information about this incident or know the 3rd young man in the pictures, contact the Northeast ISD Police Department at 210-407-0911. Jeremy Baker, KENS 5 Eyewitness News.